I don't know what you're like when you're sick, but when I get sick, I tend to go into strict denial to the point where my family is like, no, you need to lay down. No, you need to go to sleep. No, you're running a fever and you need to do something about it. I just like to go, go, go. It's very humbling to be sick. It's kind of a pride thing, probably a pride thing, mostly a pride thing. And then some of it is I know as soon as I hit that couch or lay down in bed, I'm going to be out for a day or two, whether it's the flu or whatever. We've all been there. How do you act when you're sick? Do you accept it and go and lay down like a healthy, smart person, or do you deny it like me and think that you've got the whole world in your hands? I ask that question because I've been reading in Ephesians where Paul is writing about not fighting with each other. And when you do fight, do something about it. Do the right thing about it. This is what he says. He says, therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. And that's Ephesians 4. So the idea here is that when you're in relationship with anybody, especially in the church, there's going to be issues. You're going to get into fights. You're going to get mad at somebody. This is just what happens in a broken world. Even people who are becoming like Christ still tend to fight with each other. That in and of itself may be too much for some people to accept, but we can accept it, and even biblically so. Paul doesn't say never fight. He says, hey, if you get angry, don't sin. It's what you do with that anger that's really important, because even that anger in and of itself is not a sin. But even when you do get angry, make sure that you do the right thing with it. And to say, listen, I've got a problem. I'm sick. You're sick. We both got issues. Here's my side of it. What's your side of it? Let's work through this, as we love each other and are gracious and humble toward each other. That's the way these things are supposed to work out. Many times, and I certainly know, they don't. And sometimes entire denominations have been born out of fights and anger and people just revolting against each other. But the ironic thing is this, that the church will often spend a lot of energy judging the outside world and saying, listen, look at all these failings, look at all these issues. This needs to change. This needs to be transformed. And rather, what God calls us to is to live the cruciform life, to really say we're the sick ones, we're the humble ones. Man, we have our own issues. We need transformation. Yes, of course, we should have a witness to the world, but that witness should be the world is sick, so are we, but we have found the answer to that sickness. That takes incredible humility and trust in Jesus that just doesn't come naturally. This is the work of the Holy Spirit. But once you get a taste for what God can do when you get out of his way and admit that you are sick or that you were wrong or that the world is a mess, but so are we in the church, God does incredible things because finally he has room to move where he himself can do all the work, and we just stand there and say, glory to you, God. So this is about submission, but it begins by saying, you know what? We're kind of sick too, but there is a healer. It's Jesus. That's RadCast.